Welcome back to World Coins Explorer. Today we are going to dive into the story of a very small but very important coin that you probably have in your pocket right now, the 2011 United States 1 dime coin. At first glance, it looks like just a regular piece of change. But this little coin has a fascinating history, meaningful symbolism, and sometimes even hidden collector's value. Many people ignore dimes because of their small size, but trust me, once you hear the full story of the 2011 dime, you will never look at it the same way again. Stay tuned till the end, because I'll also reveal how much this coin could really be worth today. The dime has been a part of American money for more than 200 years, with the very first dimes minted back in 1796. Over the centuries, its design has changed many times, from the draped bust to the barber dime, the Mercury dime, and finally the Roosevelt dime that we use today. The 2011 dime is part of the Roosevelt series, which started in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the only U.S. president elected 4 times. The Roosevelt dime was introduced shortly after his death, mainly because of his leadership and also his connection to the March of Dimes, a campaign that helped fight polio. So, every 2011 dime still carries that legacy of both history and public health. That on the obverse side, or the front of the coin, you'll see the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver. The portrait shows Roosevelt facing left, with the word liberty to his left and the phrase "I in God we trust" written beneath his chin. The year 2011 appears on the lower right side of the coin, and depending on where it was minted, you'll see a mint mark like P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. Roosevelt's initials JS are also engraved near the neckline, honoring the original artist. Even though the design seems simple, it has remained one of the most stable and recognizable coin faces in U.S. history. Now, let's flip the coin to the reverse side. Here you'll see a torch in the center, which represents liberty and freedom, flanked by an olive branch on the left, symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing strength and independence. Together, these 3 images create a powerful message. Liberty must be balanced with peace and strength. Around the coin's border, you'll see the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. And of course the denomination 1 dime at the bottom. Even though the coin is tiny, every symbol on the 2011 dime has a deep meaning connected to America's values. The 2011 dime is small but mighty. It has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of just 1.35 millimeters, and weighs 2.27 grams. It is made of a clad composition, which means it has a pure copper core layered with a mix of 75% copper and 25% nickel on the outside. This gives the coin its silver-like appearance while keeping it affordable to produce. The edge of the dime is reeded, meaning it has 118 tiny ridges, which were originally added in older times to prevent people from shaving off bits of precious metal. Even though today's dimes don't contain silver for circulation, that classic design element still remains as part of its heritage. When we talk about the 2011 dime, we also need to look at how many were made. The U.S. Mint produced billions of dimes in 2011, with the largest numbers coming from Philadelphia and Denver. San Francisco also struck proof versions of the dime for collectors, which were never released into circulation. In total, hundreds of millions of each circulation strike exist, which makes the 2011 dime quite common in everyday transactions. However, what makes it interesting for collectors are the proof coins, special mint sets, and error varieties like misstrikes, off-center coins, and double-die errors. These rare mistakes can turn an ordinary 10-cent coin into a valuable collectible. So what is a 2011 dime worth today? In most cases, if you have a normal circulation coin, it will only be worth 10 cents, its face value. But if you find a coin in uncirculated condition or one graded as MS 67 or higher, collectors may pay anywhere between $5 to $20 depending on its quality. Proof coins from San Francisco, especially deep cameo proofs, can be worth even more, often ranging from $5 to $15 each. Error coins are where the real surprises happen. Some can sell for hundreds of dollars if the mistake is dramatic and unique enough. That's why it's always smart to check your coins carefully before spending them. Beyond value, the 2011 dime is a symbol of everyday American life. It might seem like just another coin in your wallet, but it represents decades of history, the fight against polio, and the memory of a president who shaped America during one of its toughest times. Even though billions exist, each dime is a little piece of art and history that connects you to the broader story of the United States. That's the beauty of coin collecting. You begin to see the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary. The 2011 dime is proof that even the smallest coin has a story worth telling, so the next time you hold a 2011 dime, don't ignore it. Look at the details, appreciate the history, and maybe even check if you've got a rare variety that could be worth more than you think. From Roosevelt's portrait to the Torch of Liberty, every part of this coin tells a story about freedom, peace, and strength. This is what makes coin collecting so fascinating. The treasure is not always in gold or silver, but in the stories that everyday coins carry. The next video, we're exploring the fascinating story of the 2005 United States one-dime coin. At first, it might look like just another small piece of change that easily slips through your fingers. But this coin is packed with history, symbolism, and hidden details that most people overlook. In fact, the dime has one of the richest backgrounds among U.S. coins, and the 2005 edition is a perfect example of how tradition and modern minting come together. Stay with me until the end, because you'll be surprised to learn just how much this dime could be worth to collectors if you have the right version. The dime has been an essential part of American money since 1796, when the very first small 10-cent coins were struck. Over the years, its design has evolved, reflecting different eras of U.S. history. Before the Roosevelt dime we use today, there was the Mercury dime, which is still loved by collectors. The Roosevelt dime debuted in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The dime was chosen to honor him because of his close connection to the March of Dimes campaign, which helped raise money to fight polio. The 2005 dime continues that legacy, making it not just a piece of money but also a tribute to one of America's most influential leaders. On the front of the 2005 dime, we see the classic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left. This design was created by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. Above Roosevelt's head is the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" appears to the left side of his chin. The date 2005 is shown on the right-hand side, and depending on where the coin was made, you'll also see a mint mark like P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. Just below Roosevelt's neck are the initials JS, standing for John Sinek, reminding us of the original artist's role in shaping this iconic coin. The back of the 2005 dime is equally symbolic. At the center is a torch, representing liberty and enlightenment. To its left is an olive branch, symbolizing peace, while to the right is an oak branch, symbolizing strength and independence. Together, these three elements reflect America's values: liberty protected by both peace and strength. Around the outer rim, you'll find the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, and of course the denomination 1 dime at the bottom. Even though the coin is small, the reverse design packs a powerful message that has remained unchanged for decades. The 2005 dime might be tiny, but it is made with precision and durability in mind. It has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of 1.35 millimeters, and a weight of 2.27 grams. The coin has a copper core with outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance while keeping it affordable to produce. The edge of the dime is reeded, with exactly 118 grooves around it. These grooves were originally designed to prevent fraud when coins contained silver, but today they remain as part of tradition. Even in 2005, the U.S. dime maintained this balance of practicality, symbolism, and beauty. In 2005, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of dimes for circulation at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making this a very common coin in everyday use. However, San Francisco also struck special proof dimes for collectors, which were never released into circulation. These proof coins, with their mirror-like finish, are highly desirable among collectors. While most 2005 dimes are ordinary, rare varieties exist in the form of minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned dies. These error coins are scarce but can fetch high prices, making the 2005 dime an exciting coin to examine closely if you want to find hidden treasures. Most 2005 dimes that you find in your pocket are only worth their face value of 10 cents. But if you have one in uncirculated condition, or one graded highly by coin grading services like NGC or PCGS, it could be worth several dollars. Proof coins, especially those with deep cameo finishes, can range between $5 and $15 depending on demand. The real gems, however, are the error coins. For example, a 2005 dime with a dramatic off-center strike or doubling error could sell for $100 or more at auction. That's why collectors always recommend carefully checking your coins, even if they look ordinary. Beyond its collector's value, the 2005 dime is a symbol of everyday American life. Billions of people use this coin for simple daily purchases like paying for parking meters, buying newspapers, or adding small change at the store. Yet, behind that small piece of metal lies a legacy of American resilience, honoring Roosevelt's fight for freedom and health. This dime may be common, but its story is extraordinary. It represents the power of leadership, the strength of a nation, and the importance of liberty. For coin collectors, it is not just about money. It is about preserving history in the palm of your hand, so the next time you come across a 2005 dime, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Take a closer look. You might have an uncirculated coin, a rare proof, or even a valuable mint error. More importantly, you'll be holding a piece of American history that continues to tell a story nearly 2 decades later. Coins like this remind us that value is not always about gold or silver. It's about heritage and meaning. This video we are focusing on the 2021 United States 5-cent coin, more popularly known as the Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin that you use for everyday purchases, but it has an important place in American coinage. The Jefferson Nickel has a long history, stretching back to 1938, and the 2021 issue continues this tradition while reflecting the modern minting standards of the U.S. Mint. In this video, we will take a close look at its design, history, mint marks, mintage numbers, errors, and collector value. By the end, you'll understand why this small 5-cent piece is more than just pocket change. It's a story of history, continuity, and collectability. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, and since then it has been one of the longest-running coin series in American history. Its obverse features President Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse originally depicted Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home, but starting in 2006, the obverse design was updated to feature a more modern and forward-facing portrait of Jefferson. By 2021, the coin had already celebrated more than 80 years in circulation. This makes the 2021 nickel not just another coin but part of a long tradition that connects generations of Americans through a design that has remained recognizable for decades. The obverse of the 2021 nickel features a forward-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, introduced in 2006 as part of the Westward Journey Nickel Series redesign. Unlike the original left-facing profile designed by Felix Schlag, this modern version shows Jefferson with a direct gaze, creating a stronger and more personal connection with the viewer. Above his head appears the motto, "In God We Trust," while the word "Liberty" is inscribed in Jefferson's own handwriting to the left. The date 2021 is placed alongside the inscription, and depending on the mint of origin, you will also find a small mint mark P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco proofs. This modern obverse captures Jefferson in a more realistic and engaging way, making it stand out from earlier nickels. The reverse of the 2021 nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia estate, which has been a central part of the nickel's design since 1938. The building is shown in classical style with its dome and columns clearly detailed. Above Monticello is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which symbolizes unity in diversity. Beneath the structure is the word Monticello, followed by the denomination 5 cents, and finally, United States of America. This reverse design combines historical importance with architectural beauty, and it has become one of the most iconic images in American coinage. For collectors, the 2021 nickel continues the legacy of Jefferson's home as a national symbol of democracy, intellect, and cultural heritage. The 2021 Jefferson Nickel was produced at 3 primary U.S. mints: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Coins struck at Philadelphia and Denver were made for general circulation, while the San Francisco Mint issued proof coins for collectors. Proof nickels are created using polished dies and special planchets, giving them sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Some proof versions also come in silver sets, which are more limited and desirable among collectors. Checking the mint mark is essential for identifying the origin of the coin, and collectors often seek out full sets with examples from each mint. This variety makes the 2021 nickel interesting not only as a piece of currency but also as a collectible item. The mintage figures for the 2021 nickel were quite high, reflecting its everyday use in American commerce. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 441 million nickels, while the Denver Mint produced around 447 million coins, making them very common in circulation. The San Francisco Mint created about 3.1 million proof nickels, which are much scarcer and targeted specifically at collectors. These mintage numbers show that while the 2021 nickel is widely available, the proof and special collector versions are far more limited. This abundance also means that most circulated 2021 nickels are not rare, but high-grade uncirculated and proof coins are where collectors find real value. As with many modern coins, the 2021 nickel has some reported minting errors that collectors search for. Errors can include off-center strikes, die cracks, and struck-through grease errors, where parts of the design appear faint or missing. Another variety collectors prize is the full steps (FS) designation on Monticello steps. When a nickel is struck with exceptional clarity, the steps on Monticello appear fully detailed and sharp. These full steps nickels are much rarer, especially in higher mint state grades, and can command significant premiums. Even though billions of nickels were produced in 2021, finding an error or full steps example can turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into a valuable collectible. Most 2021 nickels in circulation are worth only their face value of 5 cents, but condition plays a huge role in determining value. Uncirculated examples in mint state grades may sell for $1 to $5, while high-grade coins with full steps designations can be worth $20 to $50 or more depending on the rarity of the strike. Proof coins from San Francisco, especially those in deep cameo condition, typically range from $3 to $10, while silver-proof versions can sell for more. Error coins such as off-center strikes or double-die examples can fetch significantly higher prices, sometimes reaching into the hundreds of dollars if dramatic. This makes the 2021 nickel a coin that may seem ordinary but can hold surprising value depending on the version. The 2021 Jefferson Nickel is not just a piece of currency. It also reflects the stability and continuity of American coinage. While pennies, quarters, and dollar coins have undergone multiple design changes in recent years, the nickel has kept its Jefferson and Monticello themes consistent. This provides a sense of tradition and familiarity to Americans who handle the coin daily. At the same time, the modernized obverse introduced in 2006 keeps the design fresh and relevant. In a world where digital payments are becoming more common, physical coins like the nickel remain an important reminder of the nation's history and identity. For collectors, the 2021 issue is part of an ongoing story of American money that bridges the past with the present. In conclusion, the 2021 United States 5-cent coin is much more than just a small piece of change. With its modern portrait of Jefferson, the iconic Monticello reverse, and its production at 3 major mints, it represents both tradition and innovation in U.S. coinage. While most examples are common and circulate widely, special varieties, proof issues, and error coins can make them highly collectible. The 2021 nickel continues the legacy of one of America's longest-running coin series and remains an important part of everyday life. Here at World Coins Explorer, we encourage you to check your change carefully, because even a simple nickel might hold a hidden story or even a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered.